Every holiday season, millions of people shop for personalized party supplies, and napkins are one of the best sellers on Etsy. Today, I'm going to show you how I used AI and MyDesigns to create personalized Christmas napkins that sell all season long. Let's get started. Alright, we're now over on MyDesigns.io and we're ready to get started. As you can see, we've logged in and we are under a collection called Personalized Christmas Napkins. Now, if you don't know how to create a collection, just navigate to the listings tab here under menu, and then next to listings here at the top you can click this home button and then just click add folder and you're ready to get started. So from here we need to get some graphics to actually work with for our Christmas designs, or for our Christmas napkins, excuse me. So we're going to go under create and click Dream AI. Now we have a bunch of different models to choose from, as you can see here, but we're going to use Nano Banana, the one selected here, as I find it does a really good job. We're going to leave the mode as text to image. We're going to generate 4 images so that we have a few different ones to choose from. And then right here is where we'll enter our prompt. And I actually did have one saved that I was just testing ahead of time. And I will post this in the description of the video if you want to take a look at it. But all we have to do from here is just click Dream. Now what this prompt is essentially generating for us is a reindeer with like a Christmas wreath, and then we're going to add text to it that says like Merry Christmas the Johnsons or something like that. So basically just has the ability for people to add their last name. Now based off of these results, I really like almost all of these. I don't want the one with the words, as this prompt didn't tell it to generate words, but sometimes it does. So let's go ahead and just select this one here. I think this is perfect for what we're trying to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click it, and then we're going to click Save to Listings. We are going to actually remove the background. I'm going to select the MD1 version to do that. And then we're also going to upscale this image as we save it, just so that we can skip that step later. And we're going to create a new listing and save it in our main file slot. So all we have to do here is click Save to Listings, Yes, Store Image, and then we'll jump back over to the Listings tab and start to work on it there. Alright, we're back in our Listings tab, and you can see that our image saved here with the background removed. It's also upscaled, so we are ready to get to work. So I'm going to go ahead and select this listing. We're then going to go to the Canvas system. I'm going to select Templates, and then I'm going to search Napkin here. Now we're going to be selling this on the beverage napkin as well as the luncheon napkin, but I'll show you how to add that later. So I'm going to select beverage, Taylor as our print partner, and then the template they provide. So now we're ready to get to work here. So all we need to do is click add listing file in the top right corner. We're going to select that main file that we just generated with AI, and then I'm going to click add. Now you can see that's probably a bit too big, as we also want to add some text. So let's just go ahead and reduce the size of this, and we can make any adjustments to this along the road as we need. Now we need to go to rich text, and I'm just going to click add text. Now I'm going to move this down a bit. I'm going to go change the font here. And for this example, I'm going to be using a custom font called Christmas that I uploaded. And then we're going to extend this text box out to the edges of the napkin. And then we're going to move it down as well. And I'm going to double click it and change it to say Merry Christmas. Now I think that font looks really good with this type of design, but what I do think could look a bit better is let's change the color here. So I'm going to select this black color, select black again. We're then going to take the dropper, and I'm just going to select one of these darker red colors showing on this reindeer. And I think that looks fantastic. Now the next part we need to add is another text box. So I'm actually just going to click this one, copy and paste it, and then we'll move it down. I'm going to change the font on this one as I want it to be a bit different. And I think there was one called Architect's Daughter. Yep, I want to use this one here. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm also going to change the color of this one back to black. And then we're going to reduce the size of it, as I want it to be a bit smaller than the Merry Christmas part. But maybe we just need to update the name here. So let's say for this example, you received an order and they wanted it to say the Johnsons here. So we could just make that change there. We're going to make sure it looks a little bit better. I want to move it up closer to the Merry Christmas part. And you can really adjust this however you'd see fit, but I'm going to select everything and just move it down a bit more now so that it's more kind of centered on the napkin. So I think that right there looks really good. Like I said, make as many changes as you want, but once you're ready, all you have to do is click save here in the top right corner. I'm going to change this output file slot and just overwrite this main file, as we don't need that graphic anymore. This is what we were using it for. The format is going to be PNG, but this part is really important. When you're selling a personalized file through MyDesigns, you need to make sure you click this Save as Editable button. That will allow us, when a customer orders this, to come in and make those changes without having to create an entirely new print file. So I'm going to click Save now. Yes, overwrite files, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. All right, our print file is now saved here. As you can see, it has the Merry Christmas from the Johnsons. Now, if you need to tell if this file is saved as editable, then all you need to do is see if there's a pencil icon over it like this. This will allow us to make changes whenever we need. We just click that, we can come in here, make the changes, and then click overwrite. But that is saved in the correct way. So we're ready to now get this published onto our Etsy shop. So I'm going to go to the top right corner here and click publish, and we're going to actually use a profile. So I'm going to load a public profile. At the top here, I'm going to search napkin. Now you can see we have a few different options. These are for foil stamped, and then this is for custom napkins. And this is the one we're going to use because we're not doing the foiled stamp, which you can do, but we're just using this custom napkins profile. So I'm going to click load profile. Now, this is what a profile does, is it essentially creates all of the mock-ups, the pricing, everything that we need for our publishing process, and it saves it as a profile. So now you can see, going through these mock-ups right here, we have some really good looking ones. And the one that is going to appear as your primary mock-up will always be the front one. So if you want a different one to be your primary, you can drag and drop them like this. I personally think that one looks great. Now, you can see at the top here, we're on beverage napkin, but this profile also included the luncheon napkin. We set up this print file for the beverage napkin. If we go over to the luncheon napkin, you'll see that the size is a bit different. So just to make changes to make sure this is right, we just click the canvas button here. It's going to take us into this file. And then all we need to do is make sure it looks good on this canvas, and you can see it does. It's perfectly set up for this one as well, so we don't need to make any changes. We can just close that out. Now we can go to the next step as soon as we have all the mockups that we like, which is populate data. We have a really cool feature here at MyDesigns called Vision AI. What it does is your SEO for you. So it analyzes thousands of best-selling shops on Etsy, and then it will create your data based on those listings that are doing really well. All we have to do is click Use Vision AI here. The input file slot is essentially the file that you want the AI to scan and base the data off of. Product type here, we're going to search napkin and select that. The platform is going to be Etsy. We're going to we're going to change this to our 2.5 model, which is recommended. And then this means we want it to generate title, description, and tags. Now we can also include product features, which this profile already has selected, which is beverage napkin and luncheon napkin. I'm also going to include some custom instructions, as I find I get better results by doing this. So I'm just going to say something like, this is a personalized napkin being sold for Christmas. Please include this in the data. And then we'll leave the writing mode as overwrite, and then click generate data, and yes, run Vision AI. Now that took about 5 seconds to generate. So as you can see here, just looking over the title, it looks really good. But what I always tell people is Vision AI will get you about 85 to 90% of the way there. But I always recommend that you go through this data, change some keywords, add some keywords, take away some, as you see how it fits to your listing specifically. Now, since this is just an example, we're going to move on and go to the next step, which is choose prices. As you can see, there's already prices in here as well. That was saved as part of our profile. If you have a custom pricing strategy that you would like to do, you can easily make changes over here by going like this and clicking apply to all. There's lots of different functions and actions you can do based on sizes, colors, etc. So you can make any changes you need to here. We're going to go to the next step though, which is preview publish info. This just gives us one last look at our listing, so you can see our primary mockup, our print file, title, description, and then tags are in blue down here. On this right side, you can see the store we're posting it to here. If you have multiple shops connected, you can change it there. The category we do need to update. It's set to clothing by default. We'll just go to napkin here, and then we'll find the, I believe it's this one at the bottom, under party decor, tableware, and napkins. Now, if we scroll down here, there's one more important thing we need to do. Since this is a personalized listing that we're selling, we need to select this, and then underneath we will essentially give the instructions to our buyers. So we're going to just say, one, please send me the last name or name. We'll just say, please send me the name that you want included on the napkin. And you can really word that however you'd like. So once you do, though, that's the instructions your customer will see on Etsy. So all we have to do at this point is just click publish, and I will jump over to our Etsy shop and show you what this listing looks like there. We're now over on our Etsy shop, and everything that's published through MyDesigns will always go to your draft folder. So we just select listings. We're going to go over to draft, and you'll see our personalized Christmas napkin is up here. At this point, all we'd have to do is select it, click publish, pay the 20-cent listing fee, and then click publish, and it's live on our Etsy shop. If you want to cash in on holiday sales this year, personalized Christmas napkins are a Q4 winner. MyDesigns makes it really simple. You can go from an idea to an Etsy listing in less than 20 minutes. Sign up free today, connect your Etsy shop, and start publishing.